My next guest is going to be back in action February 13th, UFC 258. He's going to be taking on Phillip Rowe. Is Gabe Green joining me here on the program? Gabe, how's it going, man?
It's going great. I'm just happy to have a fight lined up.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that because, of course, we haven't seen you since that debut when you fought Daniel Rodriguez. What has been the reason for the layoff? Has it been injuries or has it been tough getting fights? What's sort of the reason?
Yeah, a little bit of both, and then I ended up getting Rona too, so just a bunch of just 2020 it was
it sucked.
Year.
Yeah, I mean, I think even outside of you, I think it was bad for a lot of people. So that's crazy. So what came first? Did you have an injury first? Did you have when did you get COVID, and what were the symptoms like?
I got an injury first. I just hurt my leg a little bit, so I had to take some time off from training, and then it sucked. Like right after getting like okay, I'm good to train again. Go back to the gym and end up getting Rona. Luckily, I didn't have it super bad. I had one day where I went to sleep and I had like some chills, and it was like my first symptom, and then I was like, oh man, maybe this is it. Started praying. I was like, oh God. But no, I woke up the next day and I was fine. I was like, oh okay, I guess I'm just a lucky one, you know. And I just went through my 2 weeks of just you know self reflection time where I can't really do anything.
Yeah, you're just sort of waiting for that call. When would you have liked to have fought? Like, was there an ideal time to get back in there, or is it here in February?
No, I mean, this is ideal for me too. But I would have been down to fight earlier. Losing sucks. That leaves a nasty feeling in your mouth, and you want to.
I don't think people realize that, right? Like, it's not like, you know, in the NFL or something, you lose a game, you're back next week, right? With a fight, like sometimes it takes a while to get that next fight. So you gotta sort of live with that a little bit. I know it's frustrating. I feel your pain is kind of what I'm saying. I understand from your guys' perspective that it's a bit of a bummer that you just want to get, like, I'm sure the night you lost, you wanted to get back in there the next night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, was trying to hit D-Rod and be like, hey, let's run it back tomorrow. I'm ready now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it would have been nice to just get that because that's the only way to get the taste out of your mouth is just to go get a dub. So I've had to live with that little taste in my mouth for a long time now.
Well, look, it was a good fight. It was, kind of short notice for both of you taking that. And, you went the distance. I mean, D-Rod finishes a lot of his opponents. I think it goes, shows your skill set, the fact that you went the distance in that fight. What did you learn the most from that fight? Because, again, circumstances could have been a little bit better.
What I learned from it more than anything was just that, I deserved to be in the UFC. That was like just my main thing that I took away from it because it was like I was no excuses. Daniel Rodriguez was the better fighter that night, but I knew that I showed up and I wasn't at my best for sure. It was 4-day notice and I hadn't even trained in 2 years because of hand surgery, shoulder surgery, and other stuff. And I still went the distance with the guy who was knocking everybody out. So I was like, all right, if this is the UFC, then I definitely deserve to be here.
Good stuff. You got a good opponent here, Phillip Rowe, 7-2 record. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I think it's gonna be fun. He looks like he's a striker. I like to strike. I mean, as you can see in the last fight. So I'm just looking forward to being inside there and banging with him. I know he's super, super, super long. Like I think he said like second, from what I've been told, second longest reach in the UFC or something like that. So I mean, that just means I got to get in, and that's what I plan on doing. Just making it a fight.
Yeah, no, I hear you. How about camp? Have you structured things? Who are you getting to work with for this camp?
So just trying to work with super tall guys. They're hard to find, man. Those guys, especially ones that are like, it's like, all right, we got a guy who's 6'4" for you, and I'm like, all right, cool. But he's like 6'4" and like 230, and I'm like, all right, I guess.
This kind of sucks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll just make sure he doesn't like. I'll just make sure I'm on my toes because it's gonna hurt if he hits me. But yeah, that's just it. Is we've been just trying to find guys to kind of emulate his style and just the reach because that's the whole thing, man. Like someone's head being at 6'4", 6'3" is just it's a lot different. Like I'm trying to punch it, I'm like, why am I hitting your chest? Why are you so damn tall?
Yeah.
So that's just the main thing.
Absolutely. What about the weight cut? How's that going? I know you've been off for a bit. I imagine you kept the diet pretty low just in case, or how's the cut going?
Yeah, no, weight cut's super, super chill. Like I used to fight at 155, so I'm kind of like an in-betweener. I'm
You're a
not
165er, right? Like a lot of fighters are, believe it or not. Yeah, which is kind of a bummer they don't have that
yeah.
division, right? But
Yeah, it really sucks they don't have it. So like I don't even if I'm like out of shape or something like that, I don't even get like too far from 170. So I've been so for the last fight it was like on short notice and everything, and I wasn't doing any strength training or anything, so it was like really easy to make 170. I didn't even have any like real muscle on me. After I lost, I like hit the gym right away. I was like, all right, let me fight at 170. I got to get bigger. So started lifting a lot and everything. So I'm around the same weight that I was for my going into my weight cut for my last fight right now, and but just a lot bigger and healthier too. So it's good.
Good stuff. And who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
It's going to be Tracy Hess. He's my head coach, been my jiu-jitsu coach since I started. And then my teammate, Josh Jones, and my striking guy, Fernando Vargas. He's been working with me a lot on the mitts.
Good stuff, man. How's this fight playing out on the 13th? How do you envision it unfolding?
I think it's going to be scrappy. He's super long, so I'm going to have to make it a fight, I can't just stay on the outside and just, let me in, I'm going to have to go in there. Probably have to take a couple shots just to get inside, but then, try to fight him in a phone booth and just make it dirty.
You mentioned sort of being off for a little bit. Is there anything in particular you think you've improved on since the last time? You talked about putting on some size, doing some strength and conditioning, things like that. But is there anything else, maybe skill-wise, like whether it's your ground game, stand-up, anything that you feel like you're looking to showcase in this fight that maybe you had a chance to work on over the last little bit?
Nothing in particular. I've just kind of all around got it's just better because all I've been doing is working besides the times, where I had to take my little breaks, but it's just been constant grind, getting better in every aspect of the game. I think more than anything, you're just going to see an even more confident me when I'm out there, someone who's just even, because that was the biggest thing. I hadn't fought in forever. I was a little nervous. I tried not to show my nerves, but I'm pretty sure it showed up a little bit, and now I know, for sure, I deserve to be here. So it's just get ready to see a better me, dramatically better me.
Downtime. I know you probably don't get much of it, but are you a Netflix guy, playing any video games? What would I find you doing when you're not in the gym, not training, not cutting weight, all that stuff? What would I find you doing? I'm
being a fat ass, bad. I have the most giant sweet tooth known to man.
Well, what do you like? I'm curious. I have a sweet tooth as well. I'm a sweet guy as opposed to a salt guy. I love my chocolate and ice cream and all that stuff and all that. But I've been staying away from it. Trying to new year, gotta keep it a little bit healthier to kick things off, right? So.
Yeah, so it's underrated. No one ever talks about it, but bread pudding. Bread pudding is my stuff. I love bread pudding. No one ever you looking at the dessert menu, you see bread pudding, everyone just kind of looks past it. But no, bread pudding, man. That's my stuff. I love bread pudding so much.
There you go. If the fighting thing doesn't work out, you can be a spokesman for bread pudding. I think you sold it right there because I want to check it out now. It sounds very intriguing, so that's good. I don't think I've had it before. What makes it different from regular pudding? When I think of pudding, I think of the Jell-O ones where it's got the chocolate and stuff.
Yeah.
What's different about it?
So do you like French toast?
Of course, yeah.
So it's kind of like French toast, but even more desserty. It's because it's not just like the custard. There's bread in it, and so depending on where you go and how they make it, there's a bunch of different types. My favorite spot to get it is actually in Echo Park at this deep dish pizza place. Which deep dish pizzas there is amazing too. I've been to Chicago, but this deep dish spot in LA is really good. It's called Masa in Echo Park, and yeah, they have this chocolate one. It's just amazing. Yeah,
good stuff. I'm getting hungry.
Try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm not that far away I live in Vancouver, Canada, so it's only an hour or so plane ride. So if I'm ever allowed out of this country because of this whole COVID thing, I'll definitely have to check it out and have some dessert. But in the meantime, I'll be watching UFC 258. It's coming up here February 13th. Gabe, thanks so much for the time, man. It was great talking to you. If you want to thank anyone, if you got any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, just always shout out to my sponsors, Trini, SP Hats, CryoSpot. They freaking hooked me up with cryotherapy all the time. They just take care of my body dramatically. Lion Dental for keeping my teeth nice and clean, fixed so they don't fall out and stuff like that with mouthpieces. And then just Tracy Hess out of Subfighter, and then Antonio McKee out of Body Shop for just getting me ready for this fight to go.